Maybe CAN are like the Velvet Underground, the European Velvet Underground. Maybe first time I heard them was when in the 70s on TV or radio, and they had a song that was a hit song in the charts back in the UK called I Need More, but it was just another pop song on the radio. And then I think in the late 70s, early 80s, musicians like John Lydon and Pete Shelley from the Buzzcocks, in interviews they spoke about CAN as an influence and a favourite band. And so I was in a record store one day at the bottom of my street in Glasgow. I was looking through the racks and they had a fire sale. And in the fire sale, because the shop there'd been a fire at the shop, and I bought this album called Cannibalism because it had sleeve notes by Pete Shelley from the Buzzcocks. So I bought the record. I think I felt it was very strange music that I'd never heard anything like it before. In the same year, I saw the pop group play and the Slits play. But at that point, I never quite made a connection. But there are connections, you know? So they had a very subterranean influence on stuff, on musicians that influenced me directly, you know? As did the Velvet Underground. So maybe CAN are like the Velvet Underground, the European Velvet Underground. We take an influence from Hallelujah on our Screamadelica album, you know, 1991. But again, we sampled the drums to Hallelujah on a song titled Kowalski. I was in Cologne and I was doing interviews for an album, Vanishing Point, that we had. And a friend of mine she was press agent for CAN, Sarah Lowe. She invited me for dinner with CAN. So I went and had a great night. And Michael, Erman, Jackie and Holger were all there. And that night I gave Jackie the CD of this song, Kowalski. And I said, if you like this CD, maybe when you're in London, you could come to our studio and play drums on some songs that we have. And he said, okay. So when they came to London for the party, the CAN party for the Sacrilege album, I approached Jackie and I said, hey Jackie, what did you think of the CD? And he said, oh, I liked it very much. He goes, especially the drums. And I was like, well, yeah, they are your drums. he was like, yeah, great. And so Jackie, you know, so Jackie, the next day he came to our studio and we had a jam. And later that night, Michael came and we had more of a jam. It was great. So we made a connection, you know. What happened was Liam Gallagher came into the session and he had a few drinks. He brought a friend with him. And Liam's saying, who are these fucking old geezers? It's gonna be, who are those old fucking cunts? And his friend was going, shut the fuck up. He's going, his friend Brian Cannon, who made the artwork for the Oasis record album covers, he knew who Jackie and Michael were. He was friends with the Verve, and they loved CAN. And Brian was saying to me, no. And I was going, yes. And Liam said, oh, those old fucking cunts. What are they fucking doing? And eventually we had a jam and Liam didn't know who CAN were. I don't think CAN knew who Liam were, you know. Liam said to Michael, I don't know who you are, mate, but if he thinks you're all right, he pointed to me, you must be all right. The sound of CAN it's a democratic sound, but it's a very, very They're a very democratic band, musically speaking. You take one guy out, you take Michael away, it's not CAN. You take Jackie away, it's not CAN. Hogarth away, it's not CAN. Ermin away, it's not CAN. It's very hard to attain that in song-based rock and roll, because in song-based rock and roll there's always one guy or two guys that write the songs, so they are the auteurs and they call the shots, and the musicians have to fit their music around the framework of a song. CAN, they developed a new way of writing songs where the chords don't change, it's a groove, and sometimes it doesn't even move, it just stays. It throbs and it vibrates, but it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't move. You know, it's like it's meditation, it's meditative music, but at the same time it's hard and funky and sexy. Very hard to attain all of those qualities in one piece of art. What I learned from CAN was I learned the economy of space. I learned how to listen to what the other musicians were playing and respect the space, but also to demand space. As a writer and as a songwriter and a song arranger, CAN taught me that I should also make the space, because musicians don't always provide the space or make the space, because they're always playing. I think CAN were fortunate in the personalities that they had in the band. They managed to make it work. So that also is a feature that's huge about CAN. The music is egoless. It's completely communist, and it's, you know, communism, anarchism, nihilism. Didn't they say that that's what the CAN stands for? Joy Division are very similar. That's how Joy Division worked. You know, it works. I think it works for some bands, but it doesn't work for every band, you know. Well, the other thing I love about CAN was that sometimes the songs are maybe meaningless, so you can project your own meaning. I think that's also now allowed the music of CAN to last, you know, to come in at the 21st century and still be relevant and still attract new converts, new listeners, because it's mysterious. You can't put it into a box. What is it? Does it belong with Bob Dylan? Does it belong with Miles Davis? Does it belong with the Velvet Underground? Does it belong with the Meters? Or does it belong in the European avant-garde? Or I don't know, where does it belong? Maybe everywhere.